Welcome to Firearms of America. Today I'm back here at Shooters in Fort Myers, Florida, about to review another Canik. And this is the tiny little Canik TP9 Elite SC, which stands for sub-compact. Yes, check this out. Now, if you want a 9mm Canik to carry as an everyday carry, this is it right here. You have two options of the magazine. Well, actually three options, kind of. Two magazines you get. One is a 15 capacity magazine with a nice little extension for a full-size grip. And then you also get a 12 capacity magazine with a pink extension, but if you wanted to make it as small as possible, they also send you a flat bottom of the magazine. You can replace this and not have a pink extension for the most compact carry option. Now, obviously chambered in 9mm, 3.6 inch barrel. Let's put some 5 rounds through it and see what this thing can do. Now, this is not my first Canik review. In fact, this is not my first Canik TP9 review. I'm a huge fan of the brand. Now, the more I'm reviewing these guns, they're reliable. They are packed with features. You get unbelievable amount of features for the money. I mean, just this gun right here, look. You have an MOS cutout, you have plenty of safety features we'll talk about, and you also get the freaking holster. You get the holster with your gun. How freaking awesome is that? So you're ready to carry. That's it, and you go. That is pretty impressive. But what even more so impressive is the stuff, the features that you get in it. The sights are good so far, has been. The triggers were fantastic so far. So we'll see how this gun performs. I have high expectations from this. So as you can see, it's nicely numbered. 5 rounds in a 15 capacity magazine. Very easy to load, double stacked and narrowed up for easy mag exchange. All right, where's my ear protection? As you can see, the yellow circle over there, this one right there, is untouched. Let's see if we can make it touched by some brass. Okay, very easy to load, very easy to acquire the target, and very easy to be accurate. Bullseye from the first shot. This is it, with a compact little 3.6 inch barrel. Unbelievable. Freaking believable. What a gun, man. As you can see, because of my improper recoil management, I had a little bit of improper ejection. There you go. Okay, so let's start with the review. Let's start with the grip. Obviously, you're gonna have variations on the grip in this gun. As you can see here right now, I have a full-size grip, so I can have it properly, my hands wrapped around this. But if we are doing this with a pink extension, obviously it's going to be a little bit harder, but still my hands are kind of small, so not as much of grip, not as much of the recoil management, but still pretty good. Honestly, there isn't really a big difference between this 15 capacity magazine and the 12 capacity with the pink extension. So I would recommend replacing this for the flat one for the situations where you need to conceal it as much as possible and carry as easily as possible versus this one. But I think overall this is a great gun, being balanced between everyday carry and also something like a home defense or having it in a car at all times, because this will easily fit into your glove box. Now, we got, let me make sure there's nothing here. We got our stippling on the sides, plus on the magazine, which is very smart, I think. At the back, we got pretty aggressive, kind of like a G10 pattern. Same thing on the front of the magazine and the grip as well. The mag release button over here, it is not ambidextrous, nice and square, sits kind of flat. And here is actually kind of spring loaded, so mags eject fairly quickly for a quick mag replacement and reloading. Now the slide release here, as you can see, the slide stop is extended, nicely extended, so you can reach it very easily. There is no serrations, no aggression at the front of the trigger guard, so keep that in mind. The slide itself, there are serrations at the front, there are serrations at the back, and they're very aggressive, which is nice. So it's very easy to have a good grip, plenty of area to have a good grip for, you know, racking the slide. And surprisingly, this slide is actually easy to rack, right? So guide rod looks like the spring and a guide rod, they do a pretty good job overall. Speaking of all the aggression and stuff, I wanted to point out one little detail which I do like, and a lot of respect to Canik for this one. You see this little aggressive stippling over here. Now what it is for is when you have your grip, proper grip, that's where your thumb of your left hand rests, to kind of have extra pressure point for proper recoil management. So let's put some 5 more rounds through this, and then we will talk about the sights and the trigger, and we will try to come up with the reasonable conclusion. Can't talk today. So a few updates. We are building a church over here in Fort Myers, Florida, and I started a brand new channel for the church. If you are a Christian, if you're interested in Christianity, or you're just curious, you want to check it out, make sure to check it out, make sure to subscribe. That will be very helpful. The church is called the Church of Fire, and the link for the new channel is listed in on the main Firearms of America YouTube channel page in recommended channels section. So if you can subscribe, that would be very helpful. So far there are only a couple of videos, but we are working on bringing more content to the channel as well. So let's do some more shooting. Well, that yellow, I guess let's keep on working on that yellow. I see you have, now that I'm getting this a second time, I don't know if that really is me. Well, now we have a bigger problem, because that kind of got jammed in a very bad position. Not good. So whenever that happens, you want to release the magazine, let the round fall out of the chamber, and then bring it back. Make sure there's nothing there with the trigger. Put the round back in it. I guess the 3.6 inch barrel might be a little bit too quick for ejecting this particular ammo, at least. So the shorter the barrel gets, the pickier usually on the ammo it is, and as you can see, this is the case with this Canik. Unfortunately, let's see. And I got the same thing again. And I ejected the last round out of the chamber. Not very good. And the same thing happened again. So basically, the reason why this happens is because the slide does not have enough of the kick to go all the way back. And the reason why it happens is because of the shorter barrel. Not necessarily because of the shorter barrel, but because when you have a shorter barrel, usually manufacturers, they utilized a tougher spring in the guide rod, so that there is enough of that energy absorption from the recoil. Because the shorter the barrel, obviously the more kick is going to be, the less of the travel you have before all that energy is absorbed. Sorry if I don't make any sense to you, but the more you get into it, the more you will understand it. So the solution with this, right? If you're experiencing a problem like this, might as well, since we're doing this, and you know guys, whenever I do my reviews, I could easily edit this out of the video and pretend like this never happened, all right? Or redo another 5 rounds and not put it in the video. But I wouldn't be honest with you if I did that. But since we have this, I might as well explain how to deal with this. So, 2 things that you can do. One is you can lubricate the gun. Now this one is already lubricated from the factory, and obviously it was lubricated here in the store when we open up the package. Looks like we would need to lubricate a little bit more. That might help. But another thing that you can do, you can utilize a higher grain ammo. Now this particular one that I'm shooting right now is 124 grain. So if you implement, I don't know, 155 grain or something like that, hotter ammo that has a little bit more kick, it's gonna be more kick, it's gonna be more jumpy, but most likely it will have enough of the travel all the way back to have a proper cycle where there is enough basically of time for the empty cartridge to fly out. Okay, hopefully that was helpful, but a little bit of a disappointing. It shouldn't happen stuff like this normally with handguns, because you have to have I mean 124 grain is a pretty standard grain ammo out there. All right, so this should have been designed around being able to handle 124 grain. Now again, with some usage, with some lubrication, the spring might get a little bit looser. The lubrication might help travel a little bit more for the slide to travel further back, but still, keep that in mind. Okay, a little bit of a downfall here for Canik. Sorry about that, guys. But let's talk about the trigger and the sights. They're still fantastic. As you can see, that group over there on that yellow circle is pretty impressive. I mean, I hit 3 bullseyes and all the other shots are within like a 3-inch circle. So still, with this you can be accurate. Just make sure you get the right ammo if you are getting this gun. Sights. So you have your 3-dot sight, well, kind of 3-dot, more like 1 dot, but 3 post. And the front, as you can see, is highlighted in yellow, which I do like when you have a little bit of a highlight to kind of stand out. Very easy to acquire the target, very easy to be accurate, as you can tell. Now the trigger, let's talk about the trigger. Very good trigger. As you can see, you have your kind of like a safe action system here, kind of like in a Glock, which serves as a drop safety. Every time I say drop safety, I pretend to drop it. I don't know why, it became a habit. One day I will freaking drop a gun. That's really what's gonna happen. But you have that, which I like as a psychological factor to say, hey, you know, you have your finger on the trigger, so be careful. So here you have about like 4, maybe even 5 millimeters of very safe, very familiar travel, and then you have that 3.5, 4 millimeters of very, I mean, nothing unpredictable, very good trigger, and then a crisp break. And this is the reason why the group is so good, is thanks to this trigger, because the trigger is absolutely fantastic. It is so easy to get used to. So check this out. You know this, I mean, you can't. It's even the second one. Most of the times, the first stage is very predictable, all right? No big deal. But the second stage is like, scary. Here, I can put a round in it right now and mess around with it and not by accident fire, because it is so simple. 1, 2, and then crisp break. You can't confuse those stages. Excellent trigger. So Canik, I'm sorry for this malfunction that you guys experienced during this review, but trigger, you nailed it. Fantastic trigger. Now, speaking of all the features, I already mentioned the MOS. You saw the accessory rack. You get the holster and all that stuff. So it's loaded with features. But I wanted to mention a few safety features that are in this gun. You have your racked slide indicator in the back. Now, the racked slide indicator is not the loaded chamber indicator. Right now, there's nothing in the chamber, but you have this red thing. So if I reset the trigger, it's gone. So it's not a loaded chamber indicator, it's a racked slide, so cocked basically indicator. But you also do have your loaded chamber indicator over here. So I'm gonna get 1 round and I'm gonna put it in and I'll show you. And as you can see, now with a little red dot over there, it shows that there is actually a round in the chamber. Yes, it shows at the back that the slide is racked, but it also shows that there is a round in the chamber. So, let me see. And another close shot. And another close malfunction. Man. Well, that's why I prefer Glocks. So, let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about this review? What do you think about this gun? I mean, excellent gun. Unfortunately, you do have to have a hotter ammo in this gun, and it has to be better lubricated to function properly. But still, you get a lot of features, and you can find a way to work for yourself. So, drop your comments, drop your suggestions and recommendations in the comments below. Make sure to check out the brand new channel for the church, and I'll see you guys in the next video.